How you doing, Colin?
Good, man. How about you?
Good, good. So which one of you guys is the one that was 63? Colin, you were 63, right? And now you're going up to
66, yeah.
74? Okay,
Yeah.
oh, 66, yeah. Okay, right. This was like supposed to be like podcast on the 74s, and then Steven pointed out, he was like, yo, there's only one of us who's competed in 74. But I actually competed in 74 last year, but now I'm bulked up to 84, 83. Let's see. Cool. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and start the recording then in just a sec here.
All right.
My glasses.
All right. Cool. So what's going on, guys? Today we've got a special podcast. We're talking with Ben Santello, Colton Phillips, and Steven Singleton. Steven's returning. If you haven't seen the Blast podcast, I talked to some of the 83s. Go check it out. It's on Spotify and my channel. So Colton, you were going to Worlds, right? You're national champion in the 63s.
Yeah.
Before it got canceled. Sorry about that, man. That stinks. And then now he's going up to 74 though. And then we have Ben Santello, who's super promising 74. I don't want to blow your ego up, but you were like going to go to Worlds probably 2021. Am I right? Were you like the number one prospect?
I think so. I think I was definitely going to nationals. I was planning on winning nationals, but I probably would not have gone to Worlds because
you
it
won it
was during my high school graduation.
Oh,
So
okay.
I wanted to go to graduation instead.
Understandable. All right. And then we got Steven. We were going to go – I had Steven on because we're going to talk about Raw Nationals being canceled. And Steven and I were going to be going head-to-head for the spot at Worlds. I'm going to let you guys go around and introduce yourselves and just say how you got into lifting, and then tell me about your first meet as a power lifter. Because I have my first USAPL meet in a few weeks, and I just want to hear your guys' experience with them. So if we could start with Colton, and then go Ben and Steven.
Okay. So, like you said before, national champion 66 Team 2. That's probably the best thing I've done in lifting. The way I got into lifting, always kind of just wanted to be big. Like I remember seeing Ronnie Coleman when I was like 8 years old, and I was like, dude, I want to be a monster. And then obviously that's not happening right now. Kind of went towards the powerlifting lane instead of bodybuilding. I think that was mainly seeing Russell Orhe's channel. Thought that was really cool. And then for my first meet, I did a meet in Des Moines, Iowa with 22nd Street Moto. That meet was really cool, honestly. Everyone was super nice. Kind of messed around with some water cuts and stuff. Didn't feel too good. Got a little sick, but it went okay. That was last June, so.
No, okay, so yeah, I'm like almost exact same. I was the last June, and I weighed like 175 or like 178 or something. And then when I went into weigh-ins, I literally weighed 74.9 kg. And in the federation I was competing in, it was like 75 kg. So I like made it in by 0.1. It was like so close. All right, go ahead, Ben.
All right, so I started lifting in 2017, so almost 3 years ago, summer of 2017, for my baseball team. We were heading to high school. We had the summer training, and I'd always like kind of done some lifting, but nothing, obviously not serious training when I was that young. I was 13, and then the first day it's just like ridiculous, but the coach had us max out our trap bar deadlift. First time ever lifting, which is silly, but I pulled 295. I was like 135 pounds at the time. So I was like, wow, this is actually, like, I can do something here. Kind of just like, I don't want to say ego lifted, but messed around for a while. And then just July 21st of 2018, so almost 2 years ago, I had my first meet. I think I've done 4 meets now, but it was, I think I put over 200 kilos on my total since then. But yeah, my first meet was definitely good. It's like, that's kind of when I realized like, this is pretty cool. I like this. And I would say I found it because of, what's his name? Brandon Campbell, Diamond, base barbell. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Because I did CrossFit stuff before that. I did CrossFit stuff and then weightlifting. I was like, I like CrossFit, so I like lifting. And then realized I don't like CrossFit. I don't like running, but I can stick to lifting. So I was like, I'll do weightlifting. And then like, I just wasn't coordinated enough for that at the time. So I moved to powerlifting, and it's just been something since then.
Wow, cool, man. All right, Steven, go ahead, man.
So like, I was just like probably in 2018, like I just like started lifting just for whatever, like just to be big or whatever. And then I started like doing squat, bench, and deadlift, and then like figured out you could compete, and then like did a competition, and then like got my first coach, and then like did a couple more, and then now I'm here.
Nice, man. Yeah, I can't even remember like how I figured out about powerlifting, like the competition itself. But I started getting into powerlift or like lifting weights when I was training for football. And as I just started training, I was like, hold on, I like the training better than when it's game time. So I just quit football, started powerlifting pretty much without knowing what I was actually powerlifting. And then I think I just started like watching fitness YouTubers, and like over time I kind of understood what powerlifting was. But there was no like moment when I was like, oh, here's powerlifting, I'm going to go compete. It was sort of like after a year or two of training that I kind of was like, okay, now I can kind of look for competitions that like this. And then I found powerlifting. But let's go into the first. Okay, so is the 74 kg class the most competitive class? A lot of people talk about 74, 83, and 93 as the most competitive. But which one of those three would you guys say is the most competitive, if any of those you think are?
I would say most. You can go.
Oh, well, I don't know. I think you left out a big one. That's the 105s.
That's what I
105s,
was
yeah,
gonna say.
that's the other one that you hear a ton of, yeah.
Like,
I think
don't
105 is the most competitive class that people just don't even know about.
Yeah,
Like
105s or 74, probably 105s.
I would say the top guys are closer at 105, so it's more competitive. But
Exactly.
74 is like the top class. Like Taylor's just beating everyone.
like 74 is just deep. There's a deep lineup. Like that top 10 is pretty close. But there's definitely like a decent gap between first and second and third. When you go to the 105s, they're right there. There's not many of them, but they're all right there. Which is why I think 105 is the most competitive class.
What's his name? Ashton Ruska, is he 120 or 105?
105.
105. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He's at the top, right?
What?
Is he like the top of the game right now?
I think Bryce Lewis is.
Bryce Lewis.
Oh, Bryce. Yeah, right.
Yep. So I don't know. I think that's definitely.
I don't know. I think 83 is the most like famous powerlifters that you would think of, like Russell or those guys. But it's just because they have a huge social media following, really. That makes you kind of seem like they're the biggest. Yeah, I think that's what a lot of plays into it. You know, you don't see many 105s with like giant Instagrams or YouTube channel. I think like Russell or and Johnny Candido are both 83, and they have like huge followings. So I think that's why it kind of brings that to light. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more. Will Taylor Atwood ever lose the 74 class? Let's talk about how he's like 30 years old, right? And he's got 6 national champions, just like 3 worlds or something like that.
I mean, I'll be in the Open in a few years, so we'll see. But
no, watch out, Taylor. Ben's coming.
No, I'm just messing around. I think he's bound to fall eventually. I think he's got a few more years at least, probably 3-4 years at least of winning, just because he's just so consistent. His training's always so consistent. Like I've been following him since I started lifting. Mm-hmm. Just like before I even knew what powerlifting was, I was following him, and this like most recent injury he had was the only hiccup I've ever seen in his training. And even with that, he still dominates. And now that he's getting healthy again, his training is so consistent. He's been with the same coach for I think 3, 4, maybe 5 years. They have so much data.
Strength guys or strength athletes?
Yeah. Yep. Strength guys. Yep. They just have so much data, and there's really if they keep up the way that they have been going, I don't see anyone coming up from behind.
Right. Yeah. He was in he got on a podcast with King of the Lifts. I don't know if you guys listened to it, but they did like a whole episode with him and Six Pack Lapidat, and they were talking about how he's like he said that he can see his career coming to an end soon. He didn't say that he's like wanting to fall off of powerlifting, but he's kind of talked about how there's other areas in his life that are like starting to have a lot more weight. So he's kind of, he's not taking training less serious, but he said that he can like kind of foresee that in the near future.
No, I think that's totally something that's just what happens. Life happens, especially when you're 30 years old. Like,
like
he has
Ray Williams.
I believe he has a full-time job. Yeah, Ray Williams. That's another example.
Doesn't he have like
think
kids?
Taylor-
He's got kids too.
Yeah, he had a kid. He lost 15 keys because he couldn't train seriously.
Right.
Like, look what happened to his total. But I don't know. I think his reign's coming to an end pretty soon too.
Michael, who do you think is the second? There's like Michael C.A., Pug. I think those are the two that are the closest to him, right?
I say Michael Say.
Yeah, I'd
Like I
say
said.
Michael, if you can put a meet
Yeah.
together.
Yeah,
Yep.
Michael or Austin.
Yeah.
Yep, Austin Perkins is another one. And Perkins is still young. That's
Yeah,
the thing. I
Perkins
think
is
he's still a
super young.
junior. I think he's
Yeah.
still a junior. So
He
he's
is,
going to
yeah.
get strong.
He's got 2 more years as a junior.
Yeah, dude. When he's in open as his primary division, he's going to smoke everyone.
Yeah.
For sure.
If he
Yeah.
can keep up.
Pug's
And if
been talking a
Charles
lot of
Akpoko-
trash.
If Akpoko comes up to 74, he's another contender for first. No doubt in my mind.
For sure.
What is Akpoko totaling right now?
He did 11 times body weight in the gym as a 66.
Yeah,
He
he
did
has
like
730 or something.
710.
I think like the only lifts I've seen from him are his squat pretty much. Is that like his most impressive? That's
Probably,
what
yeah.
comes up in my feed.
I mean, his deadlift's a little bit worse than his others, but he's pretty solid all around.
He's also just like completely shredded, just
Yeah.
massive. Here, all right, so here, single ply, he squatted 700.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, that's freaky. So his best numbers right now in comp: 584 squat, 385 bench, and 606 deadlifts. That's 66.
Out of 6, oh my gosh. So light to be
wait,
so
how the
strong, man. How tall is he? Out of curiosity.
He's got to be pretty
Well,
short. I don't know.
I think he's
Yeah.
5'3".
Because he's
So-
shredded. He's like
his
way
total
leaner than most
715.
guys.
I think he cuts from,
715
like,
at
160.
66.
Taylor's like what, 740, I think? 738? What was it?
792
think-
and a half, right?
Around there.
Yeah.
But you look at Akpoko, if he is in a surplus going into training and he's gaining weight, his numbers are going to shoot up and he will take that total. They're close enough already. So,
Yep.
and even if Taylor goes to 83, which I foresee happening, he's still got a, I don't know how chanceful. I don't even know.
It's 74s are super fun to watch because there's like a lot of heat going on in there. There's like CA, Pug, and Taylor. They're constantly throwing trash at each other. It's super fun to like read the comment sections and stuff. They're like, I know they're not on purposely doing it, but they're like pretty much marketing their like competition. They're trying to get people to watch it.
Yeah, I think Pug is the only one that does it like maliciously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really not a fan of him. I don't know if you guys like him or not. I'm really not a fan. I don't like him at
No,
all.
Taylor.
He's a punk.
I love Taylor's attitude about it. Taylor,
too.
like when he talks about it, he's like super. He played football and I played football, so I kind of have that mentality with him. And it's just like he just kind of deals with it, and he doesn't have to respond. You know, he doesn't feel the need to like come back when he's already kind of won. You know, so I respect that about Taylor. He's doing really well to the trash.
I'm the same way in that sense. Like I just don't. I don't care. I swear.
I feel like
But
if,
I just
if
like
Taylor,
don't care.
if
Yeah.
Taylor like talked trash like Pug did, it'd be like fine just because like Taylor's actually has like stuff to back it up with.
Yeah.
But like
Right.
Pug hasn't won. He hasn't won nationals. I don't think. Or did he win 2018?
I don't
Nah,
know.
He
He
got like
went to
stuck
Worlds.
as an alternate.
Yep.
Taylor's actually his trash is actually super good when he does talk, when he does, you know, spill stuff.
Oh yeah,
but
he gets it in because he's smart.
yeah, he's really analytical and he knows when to come back and how to come back really hard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
For real.
When Pug talks smack out of nowhere, I'm like, dude, this is just silly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it's just getting to be too much. Like,
He's
I know
like,
he's first, but he just needs to chill out a bit.
people stop caring, and he's still doing it. And I'm like, dude.
And he's not winning anytime soon. Like, he's probably third in that ranking or something like that. I don't know.
It would be in
I think
his
he's in
best
second.
interest to go to 83. I think.
Honestly, maybe.
With how
How
heavy
old
he
is he?
sits, I don't
He's
even
like
know, 24
24 or something like that.
maybe. I don't know, but I heard somewhere he sits like 186, 187, and cuts to 74.
Oh my gosh,
Like,
that's such a hard cut.
dude, if
That's
you can
crazy.
get that heavy, like if he can manage that cut at down to 74, like theoretically he should be able to train at like 205, 207 and still be able to cut down to 83. Because
Yeah.
percentage-wise, that's even a smaller drop than cutting from 187 to 163.
How does he
Yeah,
do
that
that?
was
Does he just like cut a ton of water, like 20,
Yep.
10%, 12%?
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah,
That's
I guess.
crazy.
I don't know.
While we're talking about competition, let's talk about really quick. Go to the 83s. What about what do you guys think about Sean and Russell? You think Sean's going to beat Russell anytime soon?
I think Sean's meet on the 18th will really be able to tell. I think that'll give some good insight, and we'll be able to tell whether or not he has a chance. But just with the way that his meets usually go, where he can't really put it together, I don't know. If he could put it together, I think it would be a hell of a battle.
He's like the total
And his
opposite of
bench-
Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Taylor's always super predictable, and then Sean is like back and forth. You can never get a good meet day.
I think eventually Sean will beat Russell, but not this year, next year probably.
Yeah.
I think he's like 2 years younger than him, so he's
He
probably
is,
got more
yep.
time. Yeah.
I'll be at Sean's meet on the 18th watching, so that'll be interesting to see.
Oh, no way, really? Where
Yeah.
is it?
New Hampshire.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's when my meet is in Idaho. I've got a meet on the 18th. All right, now I guess we can go into talking about the bad news of the podcast: Raw Nationals and Worlds being canceled. What are you guys' thoughts on this? We were all going to Nationals. Ben, you were going to you weren't going to Worlds, but you could have gone to Worlds. Colton, you were probably going to go to Worlds 2021. What are you just going through your head right now?
Pure depression, dude. When 2020 was canceled for Worlds, I was so sad. But I was actually just gonna go to Nationals to watch and hang out with the guys. So, I mean, it's not as much of a letdown. So I wasn't actually competing, but I was definitely.
Oh, you weren't going to compete? Why were you competing?
Because Worlds was gonna be, I think I would have competed like the 25th or something, and then Nationals I would have competed the 8th. And so it was gonna be way too close. And once they called off Worlds, I just decided to bulk up and not gonna fill out the class anytime soon. So.
Yeah. So what are you sitting at right now if you're going to 74s?
I like mid 150s usually.
Okay. Holy cow, you're still so light, dude.
Yeah, dude. I was sitting like between 152, 155 in the off season. So I'll probably sit like low 170s for 74. So I got a ways to go.
Ben, what are you sitting at right now?
Well, 158, 160. This week I haven't been tracking macros or anything.
Oh my gosh,
So,
you guys are so light. Are you like slowly bulking up to like 65 or something like that? 165?
yeah, I'll probably sit like honestly, without NATS, probably go up to like 170.
Honestly,
just, chill there.
I should honestly be like a 74 lifter. I'm just like, I was like 74 and then I just got so much fat. I got like 10 pounds of fat. And it's like, no, I'm going back to 74s now. It's like, I'm just happy sitting at like 190 right now. So I cut down to 183.
I would say I'm a pretty lean 74.
Yeah. I'm definitely Steven, you're like 187, right? Something like that.
Yeah, no, I was actually like 183 this morning, so I got kind of sick. So
Actually?
Yeah, I have to quarantine for like a few days. I got like tested for corona and stuff.
Oh, no way. You positive?
No, I haven't gotten the results back yet.
Okay. But you feel sick?
I feel fine though now. I just had a fever for like a day.
Okay. So Steven's training's been killing it. How's your training going, Colton and Ben? And how is it changing now that you are not going to NATS?
Well, I was supposed to have a meet last Saturday. It got canceled. So I had a mock meet. I tested my squat and my deadlifts and my bench the week before. I have a week off. Like this week I'm off. I start again Monday. But I don't really know. I'm planning on doing a meet in October. around Raw Nationals. I don't know if you guys know who Eric LaPointe is. Pizza Blow on Instagram. He's a 74. It's the crazy deadlift. But he runs some pretty good meets. It's actually his meet that Sean is doing and working in July. So he said something about doing a meet in October. So if he does that, I'll do that meet. And then I'm doing what?
Is it USAPL sanctioned?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. I think he might. So he's part of USAPL New Hampshire, and their state chair is retiring. So I think that position is up for him. If I don't quote me on that, but I think he might take that spot as state chair for USAPL New Hampshire.
Oh yeah, the New Hampshire state chair. She's so old.
Dude, she's awesome. She's actually so much fun.
Liz Smolin.
Yes, nicest lady ever.
Yeah. I live in Utah, and the state chair, like a year back, he had like some family issues, so he stepped down, and no one has stepped up. So there's no USAPL meets in Utah. So I always have to drive to Idaho or drive to Texas for any meets.
That's terrible.
I live in like the worst spot, and Utah's like powerlifting is not a big thing here. Like there's like 1 or 2 gyms here that are like decent. So I just bought my own equipment, and I'm going to be training with that most of the time.
Yep, that's the
Kinda
move.
stinks. Yeah.
I think we all have home gyms, right?
Yeah, we do. That's crazy, man. The investment we put into the sport. Let's see. All right. World's being canceled. So Steven and I, we were going to go head to head for that world spot. We're not going to get into this competition. No heat. We're going to keep it tranquil. But Steven, why aren't you doing that meet, man? You pulled out the meet because of the worlds?
Technically, I haven't pulled out of it yet because like I haven't I think they're just going to cancel it, or hopefully so I can get my money back instead of having to like withdraw and not get a refund. I don't know. I just didn't see a point in like rushing into a meet if I'm not going to do nationals. So I'm just taking a little off season, and then I'm going to do a meet late October, just a local meet.
You're making me so anxious because I have no idea where you're at right now. Like you haven't posted anything on bench in 2 months.
Colt was helping me with some bench programming, so we're gonna.
Yeah, bro. I'll tell you, bench is going real well. That's all I'm gonna say.
Ben and Colt, your guys' benches are insane. You guys are I can't remember which one of you repped 295 for a triple recently. Who was that?
That'd be Colton.
Yeah.
Colton?
That
Jeez,
was
man.
Colton.
As a 74, that's crazy. How old are you?
I'm 18.
18. Okay. So is this your last year as a sub?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Jeez. So where would you put your max at right now if you're willing to share?
If I max, probably
150.
340.
That's goals, man. As a 74.
309 pin bench 2 days ago, I think. Maybe 3 days ago. So that's pretty good.
Pretty good. Just okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's kind of all for the Nationals and Worlds. I've got some
Wait,
Q&As.
can I touch on nationals quickly?
Oh, yeah, go ahead, man. Of course.
All right, so I know you guys all disagree because you're all hyped up for NATS, but I don't know if this is low-key devil's advocate, but I don't think it's the worst thing in the world that NATS gets canceled.
All right, I'm kicking Ben out of the video right now.
I kind of saw it coming because the way Florida opened everything up so quickly,
right, and they weren't accepting. I don't think they were accepting signups right now because they were still debating whether they were going to have it or not.
Exactly, because they moved Open Nationals. Open Nationals was supposed to be in Vegas. They moved it to Florida, and then I was like, "Yeah, there's no way this is happening with the way Florida's going right now." So I didn't really get my hopes up. I was obviously pretty excited, but I was like, "There's definitely still a chance it gets canceled." And I think now that there is no nationals, it leaves a lot of room for people to run big local meets and get production quality and competition quality up in local meets. I don't want to say regionals, but similar to regionals where it's a big deal, but it's still a somewhat small meet. I know
American
it's different
records
for
can
you.
be set now at local.
Exactly.
Which is awesome. I still don't know.
It's still the same because before, if you had 3 national judges, you could still set a national record as long as they filled out all the paperwork and whatever. But now I guess they're just like pushing it out more. So I don't know if they waived the rule that you need 3 judges, but
I don't think
I
they
think
did.
you can
'Cause
only.
I think in the announcement they said that you still need the 3 judges
yeah, I
at the
figured.
national level.
I think you could only, like in the past, like you could only do it at state meets and above, like no
Yep.
local meets.
Yeah, I think it was like state, regional, and national.
But the silly thing about that is state meets are still considered local meets, which is just like, I don't know, the whole classification of meets I think is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that nationals being canceled leaves a lot of room for people to put on some really crazy local meets with a lot of, because we figure, I know the Northeast has some pretty freaky lifters. And to get them all together in a spot like Raw Nationals would be cool, I think. Or even if someone were to host like a primetime meet where they only invited the people that were going to be on primetime from each weight class and did it like nationals, like where it was still somewhat small, but had that crazy competition and production quality, I think it would be really cool.
So I've never been at NATS. Can you? I don't know what is primetime. I've heard of it, but I can't figure out who goes there. Who goes to primetime?
It's the highest. So like whoever signs up, once like the sign up like deadline is finished, like they choose the top 10 like highest qualifying totals, and then that's like the people that go to primetime.
And is that just for the open? Is that every division?
Nope, just open.
Just open. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's
well, like you
that's
can
on
be
Sunday.
No, it's on
the
every
night.
every day.
It's every night.
day at night.
Oh, for each weight class. Okay, I see now.
Yep.
Okay.
So I
like
think
you can be a
really
junior
cool.
in primetime.
Yep.
Yeah, you can be teen too. Evan Glassgold, he was last year.
Yes, he was.
He was teen 3.
Yeah.
I think he was open too.
Yeah,
I don't even
maybe
know.
you have to sign up for both.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Because you have to qualify for open to be in. Yeah, obviously you're qualifying for top 10, but I don't know. I think primetime's the most interesting to watch because it's just crazy.
Just
Yeah,
the best,
74
sure.
primetime last year. Remember that, Colt?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That was like the highlight of my year.
Yeah.
Were you guys there? You were both there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where was Nationals last year? It was
it's Chicago, or like it was in like a city outside of Chicago.
The beautiful city of Lombard, Illinois.
Like you were saying, Ben, I think this is also a good opportunity for like new powerlifters to come up because now that the Nationals is canceled, there's more focus on local meets, like you were saying. So maybe it's more attractive to upcoming powerlifters.
I agree.
Super unfortunate though. Still, I wish Nationals was still on. Man, that's gonna be my first Nats. Oh, I was literally gonna have my first USAPL meet in like 2 weeks. I'm 2 weeks out right now, and then go from there 4 months later to Nats. And then maybe if I won, I'm not gonna say I won, Steven, but if I had, then I would have gone to Worlds like a few months later. It would have been so nice. I was actually gonna go into Q&As, but then I just remembered. Let's talk about how you would overcome disappointments, and this can be on any level. Like for instance, this national thing is a big thing, but also just like if you have a bad day at the gym, how do you get your mentality back to a good state to where you can perform well?
I would say, you can let it get you down as long as it doesn't affect your training. Because if you have a bad session, like you're supposed to max and you do terrible on squat, right? It's not going to help you to just skip your volume and then take a week off or something. Like just find a new plan, figure out what went wrong, and then just execute. Just got to keep working.
Steven, what do you think? No.
Yeah, I think just like, I don't know, especially for like us younger lifters, like it's just nationals. Like this would be our second. Well, it'd be like my second, Ben's your first, Dylan. Like it's just another, like there's always going to be another nationals. Like we're just getting started. Like we're going to be competing in the juniors and the opens, like past the teen division. So it's like we're going to have another chance. So I don't think it's really that big of a deal, even though like I think it's going to be a while before most of us can go to Worlds again, just because like junior and open is just so competitive now.
Yeah, Seth Asuki on the last podcast, he was like, I was like giving him my condolences for not going to Worlds, and he's like, "Oh, it's okay. I'll have another opportunity." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So he's got the right mentality. You just kind of have to like, I don't know, be positive. Being positive, get better today, Russell Orhe. I saw Colton, you were wearing that GBT hoodie the other day on squats, bro. GBT merch. So actually, I'm going to use like this segue into one of our Q&A questions. It was, who's your biggest powerlifting inspiration? I think for me, it would probably be, because I'm an 83, I'm going to probably say Russell Orhe. But I also really like Ashton Ruska's, personality, like the way he is so serious about lifting and so analytical of it. I love the focus that he has before every set. So I'd say Ashton Ruska and Russell Orhe.
Ben Santello, probably. I'd say I really like Ashton. He's just an animal, but I'd say the person that I see put the most into lifting, or at least one of the most, is Sean. So I really like that because you can just see how much he puts into it, and that just motivates me.
Sean CA or Noriega? Noriega. Okay, yeah. Yeah, he's a beast.
I'm gonna say definitely Kyle, my coach.
Is that Cal Power? Or
yep.
Is that him? Yeah. He's awesome.
Oh, as long as I've known who he is, I've just looked up to him. Especially the way I found out about him coaching was because I saw Aiden, and Aiden's another one that I look up to. And I think he pulled 255 when he was like 17, 16. I don't know, something just ridiculous. And like that definitely made me just like realize that Kyle was a good coach, and now I know him, he's a great guy. So I definitely look up to him. Taylor's another one, definitely on a higher scale, but like in terms of like just different, because Kyle's more of a coach and a mentor, and Taylor's just kind of a figure. I don't know him personally. There are some local guys that have helped me a lot, and like people you guys probably wouldn't know that have helped me a lot, and I've definitely looked up to for this 2 years. Yeah.
Super important to have a local support group to help you out.
Definitely.
Steven, what about you, man?
Probably Ashton, Sean, and definitely Aiden.
Broder, dude, Aiden is a beast, man. He's getting on KOTW. I think he's gotten on King of the List twice this past month. Yeah, we're getting a lot of sub juniors on King of the List recently. It's really cool. Starting to see a little bit more of a highlight on the youth.
Can I touch on this King of the List really quickly?
On what? Yeah, go ahead, man.
So I'm not a fan
of King of the List.
I don't like the way he runs the account. I don't think he's a good commentator.
So tell me about that.
So I do give him that he always reposts the same people, but that is realistic.
It's like John Hack,
Russell, or he
Taylor.
Just like whatever. Impressive, but like I forgot who it was. It was a single ply dude. I think he pulled 909, Julius something, I believe. Would have been a world record. And he says that he writes, "Oh, this is crazy," whatever, and then says something about I'm taking this from other people I heard talking. This is just an example, but I heard other people talking about this, and he wrote one sentence about this guy and his deadlift, and then went right into it being more impressive because Mark kind of did it raw. And just I don't know. I'm not a fan of him. I don't think he runs the account great.
There is a lot of negativity that goes into that. The comment section is purely negative pretty much. I mean, it's just, I can see what you mean. Yeah. It's I still follow him because I know it's easy.
Exactly.
It's you get the updates. I mean, I feel like a lot of people agree with you, Ben, and they don't like how he runs it. I also really don't like how he runs his podcast. It's the only one out there. So I think it's important that there's more podcasts, more pages like this. There's another one called Rising Lifters.
He also doesn't post any. I know you guys don't like Equipped, but he doesn't post any single ply lifts, or rarely any posts any.
Are you into Equipped lifting?
I'm going to be. Yeah.
No way. Cool.
In about 6 months, I'm doing my first Equipped meet. I'm doing it raw to qualify for Equipped. But
cool.
For high school nationals, and I'll do high school nationals Equipped. and then probably Raw Nationals 2021, and then go equipped lifting for collegiates. That's because
Nice.
the school I plan on going to is pretty much all equipped, and they have some really good coaches there. So I think definitely most people hate on it, and I hated on it until I tried it, and it's so challenging and so much fun. Put on a very loose squat suit and knee wraps, and then put 50 pounds on my squat.
Knee wraps are like getting kind of controversial right now because a lot of people in the USPA are saying that it's really hurting their quads when they're in the heavier weights. Do you ever experience that?
Nope.
I see how it is.
Single ply, dude, you just embrace the pain. It hurts. It's something.
I know when I'm watching like those guys benching like 1,100 pounds, it's like, is that not like it's going so slow? That's got to hurt so bad.
Oh yeah,
like,
that's when it's digging into your shoulders.
Yeah, Ben, you couldn't even touch your chest the other day with 140.
It's impossible. Dude, I couldn't get a touch with 140. I think I need like 160 in that shirt to touch.
That's crazy.
If I just hammer my what?
The gym I train at, the people that lift there, like there's a bunch of single ply, and like there's a guy in there, he squatted 1,000 single ply.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Ahmed, right?
Yeah, Ahmed Hussein.
Yep. Dude, animal.
So strong.
You ever seen him train reverse grip bench?
Yeah.
That's another big single ply tool. He's training with a reverse grip bench.
Yeah, him and
reverse grip, really?
Yeah, dude.
Interesting.
Takes all the stress off your AC
that.
joints.
Huh.
Yeah, it feels it's definitely a cool pump. Yeah.
Dude, I think it'd be fun to dabble in equipped lifting eventually, just for fun. I don't think I'd ever compete in it, but I would definitely want to try it out.
Yeah.
I was getting a singlet off of Binzer, and I was like this close to getting a deadlift suit.
Yeah, equipped lifting's fun. It's its own. I don't even know. It's so different from raw. Everything is so different.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's like a whole different sport, but it is a different ballgame. It's like weird.
It is
totally
it's very challenging. Very challenging.
Yeah. Training's different. Everything's different.
The only reason I haven't so far is because I haven't been able to train with people consistently. I need a group to train with to train single ply. And thankfully, my gym has a pretty big equipped following, so it's easy to train with people there. But it's like I can't do it alone. Like I'm not putting on my bench shirt alone. I'll land on my face.
Knee wraps too, right? It helps to have someone wrap your knees.
Definitely. I wrap my own knees just so it's more consistent. And so I know I'm getting the same wrap no matter what. But if I had someone to consistently wrap my knees, 100% I would take advantage of it. Because if I have, say, like, I remember I had a wrap session where I had like 6 or 7 sets. Like I think I had a single or a top double and then 6 sets of 3. And I took my last 3 warm-ups in the wraps. So I wrapped like a total of almost 10 sets. And your elbows start hurting. Your triceps are fried. You go up to the bar and you're out of breath. Like it's something completely different.
What's the difference between how you feel after a training session raw versus when you're equipped? Like, are you more fatigued when you finish the training session equipped?
Definitely.
Yeah, because that's what it would seem like. You're lifting such heavy weights, and it's just, man, your CNS got to be fried.
Exactly. Yeah, it catches up to you pretty quickly, and that's why. I don't know, but I also say at the same time, like you're not spending your entire cycle in gear. It's the same where it's kind of you're doing both. It's not exclusively training equipped, and I think that they complement each other. I personally think that some sort of assistance in raw training is beneficial to an extent, whether it be a slingshot or light wraps or a very light deadlift suit, something like that. I definitely think that there's something to be said for it.
Okay, well, now we can jump into the Q&A part. Let's see. Our first one comes from Nathan Beeler, and he asks, "Isn't he a 74?" Nathan Beeler. He's asking what other 74s to look out for. So he's
probably Joe. Andrew
Team-
Gleason is strong.
There's who'd you say?
Andrew.
Okay. His name like Lucky Lifts on Instagram. Big and
I think we're
strong.
talking about
Trying to think of Instagrams.
Tony. I don't know how to spell his last name.
Dwayne.
Say his last.
Dwayne.
Oh, Lucky Lifts is the blonde
Tony.
guy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Tony
he's strong.
Dwayne. He squatted 6.
Yeah. And then somebody tagged Pug in the comments, and like Pug was like, at least tag me in an impressive lift.
Sorry.
And Pug,
Pug's a bully.
stapled by 620, and he weighs like 190.
Yeah.
He's jealous.
Hey, Tony's squat is insane.
What's the name of the guy that's you guys know Wheeze?
Yeah.
Wheeze was squatting with another 74, and he squatted like 600.
That's
What's his
Tony.
name?
Yeah, that's Tony.
Tony? Okay. That guy's a monster. He's 19 though, right? So he's not a sub-junior. But yeah, he's crazy.
Dude, I'm pretty sure he squatted 500 for the first time in like September of last year or something like that. He's progressing like crazy too.
No, he like didn't hit a PR after that 500 until like a little over a month ago. He hit like 515 with a PR was his max. Or it wasn't his max, but it was his PR.
Yeah.
And 6 moves really well. It was like not even a RP10.
Yeah,
He might go higher at the end of this block or next.
I think he should. I think he's got it.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I want
It
him to go on
moves so
kilos,
fast. Do you guys all have kilos in your gym?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
I'm the
Rico.
only one. I need to get him. I think Steven, you were telling me I got to get him on like Black Friday.
Yeah, that's a move.
Yeah.
What kind of bar do you have?
Ohio Power Bar.
Yeah, you're good with that then. I was gonna say if you have a cheap bar, get a good bar before you get good plates. Definitely.
Yeah. I did not want to compromise. I was almost going to get the Alico bar. Like the bar is like the most important thing to me personally. But yeah.
I love my Alico.
Alico's
I remember one day,
What?
you like snapped me one day. You were like, "Yo, there's that Alico for $500 in Rhode Island. Should I go get it?" And I was like,
Yeah, I drove like an hour and a half I had almost 2 hours to get it. It was so worth it.
Worth it. That's so worth it. 2 hours for an Alico?
It was like a 4-hour hike both ways. I woke up early in the morning. I was home by like noon. I called the guy, like I saw it late at night. Like right when he posted it, I texted him. I'm like, dude, I'll come get this in the morning. And he's like, okay, call me in the morning. I called him. I'm like, dude, I'll come pick up the Alico right now. And he was like, oh, when can you be here? I said, I'll be there in 2 hours. I called him literally from my bed, got dressed, ran up there, had it, paid him $500, and it was mine.
Those are like, those retail for like at least 700, right? What are those?
1,200.
12. Oh my gosh.
Plus shipping
That's
from
insane.
overseas.
That's got to be like
so it was
1,400
like
probably.
500. Like, come on.
My gosh.
He was like at a CrossFit box. I'm like, oh, how much you use it? He's like, I bought it when we opened the gym. I'm the only one that uses it. Everyone else thinks it's too sharp, so they don't use it. And just like now that people need gym stuff, I'm figured I would sell it. I'm like, you don't know what you have. So
I finally I've been working with like 400 pounds, but I finally just got another pair of plates because they're like so hard to find right now. Everything's sold out. And I don't really want to go secondhand market because I'm gonna sell probably all my plates once I get kilos eventually. So
yep,
I'm trying to keep them in good condition so I can sell them really well. Okay, well then let's go to our next question. Favorite lift out of SBD from Jordy Lifts. You guys know Jordy real quick? You guys know that 15-year-old kid Jordy lifts?
Yeah, I followed him.
My gosh. He's a monster. He's like 15 years old squatting 475 or something like that. Oh,
he's insane.
What?
He's crazy. He pulled like 530 for double, I think. I don't even know, but he's just a monster.
He doesn't turn 16 until like March or something too. Like he has
he's got 3 years as a sub junior. He's definitely gonna be a world champion. He's an 83 kilo, 15 years old, totaling 605. Like
dude,
just
he's
a monster.
massive. What the?
I know. He's insane.
Oh, he's huge. That's awesome. That's wicked.
Yeah.
What he asked? What's their favorite lift?
He asked, favorite SBD.
As of late, definitely deadlift.
Yeah, when your
Yep.
deadlift goes up 50 pounds in like a month, that's a
Yeah, because I learned how to
One-
brace. But no, it was squat. I don't really like bench. I'm just not a fan. Just so boring.
Definitely deadlift for me.
Yeah.
I'm squat.
It-
Squat's my second. And squat and deadlift kind of go back and forth depending on how training's going.
Yeah, I think deadlifts is my number one, and then squat bench.
Yep.
Deadlifts is just so fun. Nothing beats a good deadlift. Pause. I love pause deadlifts too. Like I almost like doing pause deadlifts more than normal deadlifts for some reason. It's like it's just a whole new experience. It's really fun.
I like them for a while, and then they get a little tiring.
Yeah, they're exhausting, but they're good. They're good.
Yeah.
Okay. This guy asks, how do you recover? Ice bath, myofascial release, hot showers. So, like, what do you guys do to speed up recovery? I think is the question.
Eat a lot.
Eat and sleep.
I sleep. Yeah, I sleep.
It.
Yeah,
Unless I'm out
honestly,
partying.
I don't really do anything else except for just eating and sleep. I don't do any. Occasionally I'll foam roll like before I lift, but I don't really do anything besides just eat, sleep, train.
yeah.
I
Sometimes I put
stretch.
a heating pad if my back's really sore,
Yeah.
just use that before I go to bed. But nothing
Mhm.
really besides that.
Yeah, I stretch. Yeah, I just eat and sleep. Drink a lot of water.
Oh yeah,
I
water
walk.
for sure. Especially in the sun. It's like so hot. If you're dehydrated, your lift will give you so much worse. So important to be hydrated.
And another thing that, if you're okay, we can move on to this. But what do you guys do anything to like? I don't know, like just like stuff that helps you guys relax, like whether it be meditation or stuff like that. It just helps you get away and just calm down.
I don't know if it's meditation, but right before I work out, I definitely have like a half hour where I'm just trying to get into the zone. And like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go lift in a half hour. Time to kind of flip the switch and get ready for this, so I can make sure that I'm vibing when I get in. And then like, if I can't, go ahead.
Sometimes if I have a big session, I'll like put in my AirPods, put on like a hood, go around, like walk around, get like warmed up, get some blood flow, and just play right songs or like just someone like basically yelling at you through the AirPods and get going.
Music is definitely like my biggest hype, I guess. Like some people use ammonia, other people just try to get in their head, but it's just like music is what I really use to fuel me, I would say.
Yeah, I feel that. Yep.
Yeah. I've never tried ammonia. I'm gonna try for the first time. Do you guys ever use it?
Use it once.
No, I used to, but now it's just my like phone tech, anything, just right out the window.
That's why I haven't really used it.
Yeah,
I'm curious to try it though. I've never tried it. You think it's what, Steven?
I think it's useless. I don't know. Like
really?
It just makes your head kind of hurt, and then like
it definitely gets me going.
Oh yeah,
I think it's definitely different for every person.
Yeah, it definitely gets me going.
The first time I did it, well, I guess only time, I sniffed it so hard, I felt like I was gonna die. I couldn't even lift for like 10 minutes. I had to sit down. I literally almost passed out.
Do you guys ever get like exertion headaches? Like when you're working super hard and maybe you're like a little dehydrated and your head just like bursts and you can't even like, it's just vibrating in the back of your head?
All the time.
Oh, it's so bad. Yep. And then like, it takes like me like a week to get to the point where it won't happen whenever I'm lifting.
Yep. I get stress headaches. Yeah. It's like, it feels like a big band, like a headache in a band.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Terrible.
I get that too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would say finding
reason to get hydrated.
Yeah, finding things that help me like just like calm down and release, like just relax and get away from my life definitely helped training a lot. I personally fish and I hang out with my friends every day. And it just helps me get away. Now I wasn't sure if you guys do anything similar to that, but it definitely benefited my training instead of just like where it was just focused on training all the time and everything I did revolved around my training.
It's kind of like Alex Sador. He never trains when he's alone, pretty much. Like, he always has a few friends over there with him.
I can't do that.
Something you enjoy besides just lifting, that's like what you're saying, that helps so much. Like, it just something you don't have to push constantly.
Just
and worry
something you
about
don't have to think about. Like, you can just do it.
Yeah, and just
it's,
come out happy, and then you can go train or whatever.
Exactly.
100%.
It definitely.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, yeah, it's definitely, you gotta like have a time, because powerlifting is kind of something that you only do it. It's different than bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is kind of like, some people say that bodybuilding takes more time. I don't know, but they're gonna do cardio, all that. Powerlifting is like, you might not be in the gym quite as long, but you are thinking about it all the freaking time. Like, if I have a single at 8 or a single at 7, like 2 days away, like, I'm gonna be thinking about that, thinking, what number do I want to hit? How, like, you just get so hyped about it for like days. And like, when you're trying to go to bed, you just got like that competition in your head. So it's definitely good to have something to just take the focus away from powerlifting. Just relax.
That's why my regionals prep last year. I don't know if you guys know what happened at regionals last year, but I almost bombed out. I almost could have had the American record total and deadlift. So my deadlift plan was 195, 205, 215. I missed my first 2 deadlifts. Like, first one, I lost balance. Second one didn't go off the floor. And that was like a very obsessive prep. Everything I did revolved around training, and I had nothing in my life that I enjoyed other than training. And once I kind of, like, it gave me a lot of anxiety heading into the meet. And that's why I didn't perform. And now that I've figured out that having other things is okay, and it actually helps, the last 2 preps I've done have gone significantly better. So I just think it's important to have something else to go to other than just obsessing over training, because it burns out quickly. It gets very tiring very quickly.
Sure. Also, kind of like on a smaller scale, if you're like getting super hyped every single workout for every single set, you can also get like mentally burned out that way. So it's important to kind of, not like, you can get fired up for every set, but not to the point where you're going to exhaust yourself mentally. You got to save the hype for when it really matters.
I agree.
I really like Russ. I don't know if you guys watch Russell Orkey. He's like, the way he lifts is, you can tell he's hyped. You can tell he's super in the zone, but he's not like he's not throwing around. He's not freaking out. He's just very controlled and very intense. I think you have to be focused, but not hyped too much.
Yeah,
that's how I am.
Enough hype to where you can execute, and then just save the like all-out rage hype for top sets. Like once every.
Do you guys do you follow Tim Thibodeau?
Yeah, I like him a lot. I love him.
He listens to like super trash music sometimes, just so that he can like focus on the lift itself. He actually like feels like it helps himself. So I think that's really interesting. He listens to like the Wii music.
Like, I would say most of my music, like, I'm not listening to music just to get like hyped up all the time. And like, it's just kind of there. Like, I just enjoy it. And my friend jokes with me about this, but at my last meet in January, I wasn't listening to any crazy music. I don't know if you guys are familiar with American football, but it's like very like acoustic punk rock-ish, but it's very like mellow and calm. I was listening to that before attempts just so I didn't get going. Like, it was there and I enjoyed it, but it doesn't get me going. And that's how I kind of stay in the zone without getting overly hyped.
Taylor Atwood, whenever he's at a meet, he like has to like recognize that he's standing up, and he literally just like sits himself down, and he has to like calm himself so that he's not going to burn out before an attempt.
That's most. Thankfully, at my last 2 meets, I've had really good handlers. I had Kyle at regionals, and then I don't know if you guys are familiar with Andrew Richard. He's a young 83-93, great guy. He's from Massachusetts, but he handled me at my last meet, and they both did the same thing. Like, just did a lot, pulled the chair aside, so I wasn't in the middle of everyone buzzing around behind this, like, just kind of there. And they took care of everything for me, so I didn't have to exhaust myself with what was going on the platform. I think it's very important.
Is your coach local for you? Is he
He was. He moved. He moved last November, I think, December. I don't know, but he was in Massachusetts, and then he moved out west a little bit. But
okay, well, while we're on the topic of your coach, Steven, I asked Steven if this is okay, and he gave me permission. He just he dropped his coach, Sean Noriega. Not that he was a bad coach. Actually, Steven, why don't you go ahead and just explain why you decided to drop Sean?
All right. So basically, I just I've always been interested in programming myself. I just thought it'd just be fun to do, and seeing people like Colt, who's been self-coaching his whole life, and he's gotten pretty far with that. I just think it'd be, I just started this week, and I just thought it'd be a interesting thing to try, to see how it'd go. And I'm still I'm training with a coach in person, but he's just helping with technique and stuff. So it'll be nice to have an in-person interaction instead of all over text. So yeah.
What's your opinion on coaching and self-coaching, Colt?
The main reason I self-coach is just I enjoy learning about programming, and I honestly like that more than the lifting. And I want to be able to coach as a job one day. So it's just good for experience, but if you're not that interested in it, I definitely recommend most people get a coach. Especially it just takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. When you're learning things, you don't have to go through trial and error, and just all your training's pretty solid. But, I mean, besides that, if you want to self-coach and you've got a decent base of knowledge, I'd go for it.
What's your opinion, Ben?
Dude, I think if I had the time and wouldn't so my problem why I don't self-coach is obviously I like having a second set of eyes. I like being told what to do, because when I have to figure it out, I will second guess everything. Where I know that with Kyle, if I have a bad session, it's just part of the process, and it'll be I just trust him. And I've learned to trust him a ton with my training, and it's never gone poorly. So if I wanted to self-coach, which I really don't, I think it's awesome. I have in the past. But I think it's really cool. If people can, I find it extremely impressive too, when people can self-coach and still do really well.
It's hard. I've never had a coach. I've been self-coaching myself for my whole career, powerlifting career. And it's really hard to program for yourself because you sometimes get so aggressive with your coaching that you're wanting to hit these numbers so bad that you're just so aggressive. You're programming RPE too high maybe, or maybe you're programming it right, but you're going too high. So I think it's good to have a coach to not only do your programming, but once you have done the workout, for him to maybe look at the workout, see your sessions, and be like, that was not a 7, that was more like a 9. So that's my opinion on it. But if you're very analytical and you think that you can handle it, and that if you're making good progress, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think you could self-coach. I think it's definitely possible to do it.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. This guy wants to know who has the most aesthetic lift. I think he means who's your favorite person to watch lift. I think for me, Sean Noriega is very interesting to watch. His bench is super entertaining to see that arch and how he can make that range of motion so small. But then I also like Russell Orh's squat, and then Taylor Woolam's deadlift. So aggressive with it. I like it.
I can't stand it. I think it's sloppy.
It's sloppy. I would not recommend doing it that way. I don't lift like that, but it's fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely.
Taylor Woolam.
Oh,
Taylor Woolam, and also do you guys know what's that WWE guy? Eric Bugenhagen or something like that. Yeah, that guy. That guy's so fun to watch. He gets so hyped. I mean, he's not that strong. He's 240 pounds, and he only benches 405. but he's like really entertaining to watch. He gets super hyped about it.
Say one of my. You like?
He's got some nice looking lips.
Yeah, his lips are pretty nice. I think
Who's that?
Alex Ono is another one.
Who was the first one you guys said?
Pug.
Yeah.
Oh, Pug. Yeah. I like Garrett Fear. Garrett Fear is super. His legs are insane. Whenever you watch him bench press, his legs are like, you can see each head of the quads. It's crazy.
I think he's really impressive lifter, and I like him.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite lifters, actually. Now that I think about it, he's actually one of my top inspirations as well. He was one of the first guys that I found when getting into powerlifting.
Yeah,
Right, well,
I like Alex Ono's lifts. They're so beautiful. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, last question that we have is thoughts on PEDs, performance-enhancing drugs.
Go for it.
Obviously, here's the touchy subject. No, we all compete in USAPL, or I haven't, but I'm going into USAPL and I'm drug-free. But it's a drug-free federation, so obviously none of us are taking any performance-enhancing drugs. But what are you guys? I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts, except for Colt. Yeah, Colt's on something, but
what? Oh, okay.
No. So I think my thoughts on them. Actually, I'll let you guys go, and then I'll go last. So Steven, you can start us off.
I don't know. For anybody that's under like I don't know, like a certain age, but like if you're like as young as we are, like do not like do that. Like, yeah, I don't really know too much about it, but just and like the effects that it has if you're like a woman is like even worse. Like, so
Yeah.
I just like I'm gonna probably stay away from it until maybe I'm like older, but probably not.
Ooh, we saw a little hint into Steven's future. Steven's going to be taking SARMs pretty soon, boys. That's good.
I would say
cool.
I don't have a problem with it if you compete untested. If you compete like USAPL and you're on something, you're a terrible person. But besides that, if you're smart with it, you don't do it too soon. Like, I mean, I guess you can go on whenever, but if you can't even squat like 500 pounds, I think there's pretty much 0 point in doing steroids.
You have no business to take PEDs if you can't squat 500.
Like kids in like high school, like I know a kid, he benched like 135 and he was like, I'm going to do some pro hormones. Like, that's stupid. And then, I mean, I guess that's all I have to say about it. I think I might one day, I would say probably one day, honestly, but not for a long time, even when I'm like 30.
All right, Ben, what are your thoughts, man?
Dude, I think it's pretty cool. I never plan on using. It's just not something I'm interested in. Even if I stop competing tested, I don't plan on juicing ever. But I think it's pretty damn cool that the stuff that people can do when they're on. And you look at it, most of the lifting population is on something or other.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, it's whatever. I have no problems with people that want to use. If you want to lift in them,
for sure,
that's really your choice. Whatever. Yeah, everyone gets caught eventually. You can't get away with it for long, especially with the way that a lot of testing is going and whatnot. But yeah, dude, I have no problems with PEDs. If people want to use, go ahead and use.
I almost kind of see it. I almost see it as equipped lifting. Like, obviously, very different things, but the fact that, like, you're not going to have an equipped lifter competing wrong. Like, that should not happen. It's wrong. It's unfair. It's just wrong. Same way, you can't have a non-tested person compete with the tested. If they want to take performance-enhancing drugs, sure. Like, what do I care? I'm in my federation. I'm in my division. I'm doing really well. It doesn't matter for me.
That's what I say.
Do whatever you want. Yeah, as long as they're open about it, I think it can be, I don't know, we just need a healthier relationship between the worlds of non-tested and tested.
Right. I think the people that are on a bunch of stuff need to make it very clear that they're on a bunch of stuff. Right. That's the only problem I have with people that set unrealistic goals based on people that are on. Like, you look at all the Gymshark monkeys, and I can bet the ones that aren't out that are on, they're on something. And you got the kids that are our age or a little bit younger that are in the fitness world looking up to these guys like they're natural and saying they want to look like them.
Because
And then when they can't do that naturally,
on Instagram and everywhere on YouTube,
exactly.
it's everywhere.
And then when a 14-year-old kid either ends up with a self-image problem or an eating disorder or something to that effect because they want to look like these people and they can't do it naturally, where does that, like, that's just not, there's a moral problem with me there. But if that's the only thing I say, if you want to use, you have to be honest about the fact that you're using.
Absolutely. And get a doctor, get a coach, like Greg, you said.
Yep.
Now.
You need an endocrinologist, like physicians, endocrinologists, everything. Like it's not something to just shoot up and mess around. Blood work has
to be done. Yeah. That's another thing. People think like there's a lot of teenagers especially that would just be like, oh, here's a D-ball tab, pop this. Nothing's going to be wrong. I'll just take Dianabol like for a month or Tren for a month and then get off. And it's like there's so much that you have to do after that. You can't just like take a bunch of drugs, stop, never go to a doctor, never see what's up with your body because your body could be totally messed up without you knowing it.
There's PCTs, there's everything. There's a lot that goes into it. Another thing, it's a big money pit.
So expensive.
You can't just get any old stuff. It needs to be like, I don't know. That's another stupid thing I see. It's the teenagers, kids our age, a little older, whatever. They just go and find the cheapest stuff they can get
on some dark web website that you don't even know if that is actually just Tren or just this, just that. These pro hormones off of some sketch website could be loaded with some Tren or something like that. You could be trying to dip your toe in when actually you're full diving with some product that is just messed up. So, yeah. All right. Well, we got 4 more minutes. So, actually, I think that's all. Go ahead and plug away. Say where people can find you, Instagram, YouTube, stuff like that, and we can close this up. You guys
go first. I don't know my Instagram.
On Instagram, for me, it's colt.p. YouTube, Colton Phillips. Haven't posted on there in like a month, but hey, they're eventually.
Yeah, I'm missing the videos, Colt.
Thank you.
Steven, Ben _Santello on Instagram. Yeah, sure. Go follow me if you want. I don't post. I post somewhat often, but I post food on there. I eat a lot, so something to enjoy.
I saw Steven's old videos from like 2 years ago, squatting like 275 and stuff. That was a gold mine right there. I found that yesterday. It was so funny. Yeah, you got to start posting again, man. Yeah, you got to post more. I got to see your training. I have no idea what you're hitting right now.
I'll post soon.
You're gonna pull up to your competition in when is your next comp? You said you want to compete in January.
October 24th.
Oh, okay. Yes. So around the time where our NATS would be.
16 weeks.
Nice. Okay, well, on PR on YouTube. Thank you guys for coming on. I'll reach out to you guys again. We'll have more podcasts in the future. I'm gonna start doing these every other week. So sweet. Thank you guys for coming on. I'll see you later.
Thanks for having me.